For autonomous deliveries, I think we're really shining in urban streets, like you mentioned. There's a use case for autonomous patrolling, like chemical factories. We've added sensors for fire detection, for gas leakage detection, and they can do the job that people used to do. We really want a lot of people to use our product at an affordable price, and we expect this to grow rapidly over the next 2-3 years.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Breakfast Bytes. My name is Elad Inbar. I'm the CEO of RobotLAB, and today I have with me two amazing great guests that traveled all the way from Korea, Andrew and Do. Let's talk a little bit about Neubility. What is the company? What type of robots do you make?
Yeah, thank you for having me, by the way. We are making delivery robots, we make security robots, and we also make manipulation robots. We are trying to make tremendous amount of robots deployed at the streets. We are basically based in South Korea, and our core technology is about vision technology. So we only make robots with pure 100% camera feed, so that we could lower the price and lower the hurdles of our customers to use our robots. So our company has been 7 years. We started as a university startup in South Korea. I've seen tremendous demos from robot companies doing flipping the robots, dumpling the robots. But I thought we need to make products, not entertainment products, right? So to make that happen, we thought we need to make intelligence, but not expensive. That's the point. So for 6 years, after we did a pivot, because we made satellites previously, so we tried to make as cheap as possible. And we started as a delivery robot, and we're the most distributed robot company in Korea with the delivery robot. And we also do security robot, and now we're getting ready to make a humanoid, only using camera feeds.
So what sets Neubility apart from other manufacturers? There are other outdoor delivery robots. Obviously, we tested them and we chose you guys, but what sets you apart from others?
Well, our real advantage is that because it's camera-based, we can manufacture robots at a very low cost. But also because it's camera-based, we can use our advanced AI algorithms to navigate complex environments, including urban environments where there are many skyscrapers, and also in indoor environments. So we can provide that indoor/outdoor autonomous delivery experience for our customers, and this also applies to our security robots. And we think this is really important for the scalability of our product. We really want a lot of people to use our product at an affordable price. So this is what we're really focusing on.
I think Seoul, where we are located, is a really good test bed for the robots because, as you know, there are tremendous serving robots at Seoul. There are tremendous security robots, delivery robots. I think Seoul is a metropolitan city, right? We have 10 million population in a really small amount of land, right? So by our data sets that we've been accumulating at Seoul, I think it would be way better to navigate our robot in the US or any market. So I got confident about that because we've accumulated and we faced a lot of situations that robot could face here. So I think that could be a technical advantage in the end. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. When I was in your office in Seoul, they took me out to the street, and streets are packed.
Exactly.
There's just a crosswalk. Exactly. You have 50 people waiting to cross the road every time there is a red light. So and the robot navigated pretty well, across that. So what are the most typical use cases that you see for this robot? Where do you see the robot really shine, really successful?
For autonomous deliveries, I think we're really shining in urban streets, like you mentioned, because we were the first company to commercially deploy autonomous deliveries in urban streets in South Korea. And we have a contract with one of the major food delivery platforms over there. And we expect this to grow rapidly over the next 2-3 years. And then there's a use case for autonomous patrolling. We are working, for instance, in factories, like chemical factories, where there are fire hazards or chemical gas leakage hazards. And our robots are doing that work because we've added sensors for fire detection, for gas leakage detection, and they can do the job that people used to do. And in these factories, it's very hard for the companies to find people. And even when they do find people, there's a high rate of turnover. So they're facing these issues with labor, and we're able to address that for them.
Not only at the urban area, but also at the corporate campuses. We serve robot deliveries. And in university campuses, we partnership with Samsung, Well Story. They have a subsidiary company. Samsung has tremendous divisions, right? I know that RobotLAB is working with LG, and I think LG also have a food company. Yeah, like what's the name? The U.S. food company, Sodexo.
Yeah.
They have their own
Even
subsidiary
a makeup company.
Exactly, they have everything. So we found out a lot of scenarios that we could deploy our delivery robots, not only the corporate campus, but also golf courses and resorts, camping sites. Our customers are giving us feedback how we can use this robot. So even we didn't even imagine robots using at camping sites, but one of our customers just knocked our email, and they told me that we're going to use this for camping site operation. We didn't even think about that market. But even that is a niche market. We found a tremendous growth of the usage data that we are looking at our data platform. And everywhere where the robot could be deployed would be our market. I cannot imagine what we can find more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you mentioned, Korea, obviously, where you are at, but Japan and Saudi Arabia. Now we are in the US. We talked about how large Texas is. Exactly. Texas is just a state, right? We have the whole country. How do you plan to service the robots, to deploy them, get all the local support that the customers need at the end of the day?
That's a really good question. As a Korean company, it's not available to operate robot here because, as I mentioned at the front, it takes 16 hours to take a flight, right? So when a occasion occurs, it's not available for us to fly 16 hours and do the after services or the replacement after 16 hours. I mean, the customer cannot wait 16 hours because it lowers their ROIs. So that's the reason that we're not just operating here. We could operate our robot here when you make a branch, but I think RobotLAB has much more expertise about that because you guys have been doing this business more than 2 decades, right? And we strategically thought that it would be way better to just partnership with RobotLAB because you guys have the network here. You guys also know how to deploy the robots, not only the delivery robot, but also the serving robots and the logistics robots. What do you call? I mean, the AMRs. So we thought that it's way more efficient for the customer side or the operation side of ourselves to partnership with RobotLAB, and we just concentrate on the technology itself. Because when I talk with our engineers, we have tremendous amount of issues logging every day, and we are so busy doing that. But if we make a branch here and we hire staff for the operation, everything that it could occur after we do a contract with our customers, we cannot handle that as a small startup. So we thought it's way better to concentrate on our fundamentals, the bedrocks, and we could also get experience from South Korea, right? So we're trying to deploy our robot with RobotLAB here, not doing sales by ourselves. Yeah. That's
awesome. And we have teams in many metro areas. We keep expanding, and they'll love to support these robots.
Exactly.
On the ground.
When we hire people here, it might be about helping RobotLAB. I mean, maybe technical issues, not just us doing sales. Yeah.
And we have a very good experience working with RobotLAB when we do demos in sites. We know that RobotLAB engineers have the technical knowledge to be able to address the issues we typically face when we launch a service. And it has been, very easy for us to work with you and your team. So yeah, we really appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. So as we wrap up, I have two crazy questions for you. The first one, yes. Yeah. The first one is, what's the craziest thing you ever got delivered with the robot?
After we deployed our first robot, 2 days after we delivered our first customer, the wheels was, what do you call it, detached?
Falling off.
It was falling off. Yes, it was the craziest experience. And the next day, we did a replacement, and it was like the temperature of Korea was like -10 Fahrenheit. It was really cold. But the robot, the customer called us and they told us the robot is not operating now. The wheels are good, but the robot is stopping. So I was embarrassed. So I drove my car and met the robot, and it had the temperature issues of the motor driver. Most of the things were about the technical side. Environmental side. Anything more to add?
Well, I mean, I will just say that robots have been very helpful for us when we move office.
Ooh, you
office
use that to
furniture
move your
and-
office.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
Stuff like that.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So instead of us having to carry everything around, we have Newbie to help us.
So one last question. Let's say there is a robotics, Olympic Games, right? Where Newbie will be the winner? Which criteria, which games do you think Newbie will win?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I know this is maybe a boring answer, but because our robot can do indoor, outdoor, autonomous driving, if there's like an obstacle course, like very complex environments, I'm sure our robot will come first.
Awesome. We can test that because your team was here, created the whole path around our campus over here.
Let's test at New York.
Or New York, downtown Manhattan. Yeah, absolutely. Andrew, though, thank you for coming over. Really appreciate your time, and looking forward for a great partnership.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.